Hi there, and welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is all about doing the same subject every day, over and over and over. These are your warm-ups. These are your stretching exercises. Before I even start my big paintings, I always do these warm-ups. You know, just like athletes, they like to stretch and warm up before the big game. Musicians, they also practice in the backstage there, warming up before they create that great concert. Hey, I got the idea from Robert Motherwell. Why aren't artists warming up? Repeating the same subject over and over and over and over. Same thing with variations on a theme. Isn't this great? Well, that's where I got the idea from Robert Motherwell, where he would do these large paintings, but before he did those, he did these small ones over and over until he's relaxed and feels really good. It's just kind of great energy. So let me show you from those ideas how I start my warm-ups. So before I start my warm-ups, I start with my 5 C's, the letter C. The first one, what's the concept? Well, I'm going to be doing some flowers in a vase. What's the composition? Well, it's going to be the cruciform. You can see right here, this will be the one that I'm going to be using over and over and over. Concept is of flowers in a vase. Composition, cruciform. There's that cruciform. What's the color? I'm going to go right to my color wheel, right? Mostly bluish is the dominant color, mostly bluish. The focal point will be yellow, right there, yellow. And the 2 spice colors, red and green. Just a little bit, just red and a little bit of green. Then I'm going to continue that, which means I'm going to do it over and over and over. Stay committed. Don't keep changing your mind. As you can see over here, here's some early ones that I started. I'm going to be doing about 30 of these. They're about 6 inches by 9 inches. Nice size for warm-ups. And I'm going to start off by sketching it, lightly sketching it with my Derwent Inktense colored pencils. They're fantastic. You've seen me use these in my other BobBlast, where I sketch it and then I hit it with a little bit of water. It acts like a watercolor, but it dries permanent. I love these. Really light. The next thing I do is, okay, let's put the background in. The background is going to be slightly bluish. And the focal point is somewhere right in here, so I'm going to leave that part blank, the white of the paper, because the focal point will be yellow, and I don't want it to be affected by the blue or any other colors. So it will be a pure yellow. That's the focal point. So it's really loose, negative shape painting. I even throw some rubbing alcohol in there to give you these little bubbles. Kind of breaks it up a little bit. Makes it more fun to paint, right? And we keep on going. Here's the other next level. Now I'm going to actually paint on this. Let's get started. So on the wall, you saw step 1 and step 2. Now we're going to step 3. But first, let me show you my setup. This is important. I have everything out on the table. I have my paper towels over here. Here's step 3. I've already done them so far. I'm going to get ready to start adding color. Speaking of color, there's my color wheel. There's my dominant color, blue-ish. The focal point will be yellow. The 2 spice colors, a green and a red. Of course, I have my white. My large brushes that I got from the Cheap Joe catalog. I mean, big brushes. And a bucket of water. And now, let's get started. I want to start painting. Here we go. The first thing is to put in the focal point color. Here we go, focal point color. Really put it in loosely. Loosely, loosely. Can't miss that. And now, the background color. I want to make it even darker. Negative shape painting. Taking advantage of a large brush looking at the overall flower bouquet, the arrangement. I'm not a very good flower arranger, but I'm just going to keep painting until it looks good. There we go. So work on this one. Don't stay in one place too long. More water. Keep it really wet. Really wet. Don't tighten up here. The whole idea is this is a practice. I'm not trying to make these beautiful little paintings that you spent hours on. This is all about loosening up. Kind of like my stretching exercises. There we go. My Pilates. Yeah? There we go. Fast all over the place. Make each one slightly different. That's the fun part. I'm going to add a little bit of water, bluish water there inside too. Right after the other, right after the other. Don't stay in one place too long, right? And notice I'm painting all over the place. Don't stay in one place. Now, so we have the yellow here. I'm going to add some highlights in there right off the bat. I don't even clean my brush. This is called stretching, having a great time. So there's the focal point flower. I just keep painting until it looks good. And now, 2 spice colors. You use them sparingly around the focal point, right? They don't have to be exact. Oh, there we go. There's a flower in there somewhere. That's how I like to paint. All over the place. You want someone to look at this painting and say, well, you're just having way too much fun. Yeah, that's right. And let's put some stems in here now. There we go. There we go. Let's kick up that red a little bit more. More pure color. I use a big brush and I just keep using the same brush over and over again. Now the other color would be the green. Notice I do all my mixing on the table, this big palette. I don't do the mixing on the painting itself. It might turn it too muddy. You find yourself tickling it to death. I don't want to tickle this. There we go. Stay all over it. Don't stay in one place too long. I'm going to lighten up the table a little bit more. And to make sure that its dominant color is bluish, it's going to be a light blue. There we go. Cleans it up a little bit. Still bluish. It's not red. I'm pretty loose about this whole concept. The whole idea is to stay loose, not to get uptight about it. You want the painting to look like you had a good time, of which I am. Painting everywhere, all over. Whew. This is how I taught myself to paint. All these warm-ups. Notice I don't stay in one place too long either. That's the other thing. I made the light stronger by making the shadow darker. Still have that little hot spot in there. Right? I'm going to lighten it up just a little bit more, background. There we go. Wow. And all these are meant to be are just little spots of color on someone's wall. I say, well, this brings me joy. Well, it brought me joy to paint these. Might be too dark over here. I'm constantly going back in and rearranging, readjusting. I never get it on the first shot. And that's what I like about painting. You keep changing your mind. Don't change it too much. Notice I haven't used any black in this particular painting. I'm just going to use some dark blue. There we go. By mixing up this ultramarine blue and some of my pyro red, I get my darks from there. if I added black in here, I think it would make it too much of a hole. A black hole. Notice my brush is flying all over the place. Well, this is how I get started. And then, when they're all dried, I'm gonna make sure I sign them, put some varnish on them, put them in the mats, like you see over there. And this will be just great. I'm ready to start painting on that large one right now. But that's how I do my multiple warm-ups on a daily basis. You know, tomorrow it might be pears, or then the next day it might be a coffee cup. But I choose different subjects every day just to keep it alive. And boy, if you do 6 of these every day, just 6 of them, at the end of a month, oh my gosh, that's 180 little starts. Oh my gosh. And now, they're all not going to be great. That's what I like to say. Many are called, but few are chosen. And those are the ones that go to the galleries, in the museum, in the gift stores, in the art bins, or the art festivals. And they were your warm-ups. We just won't tell anybody. But what a great way to learn is by practicing. That's the whole idea, taking the same subject over and, hey, I didn't make this up. I learned it from the big boys, like Robert Motherwell. I hope to see you on the next BobBlast. Thanks for watching. Hi there, painters. Hey, have you ever wanted to meet Van Gogh and Vermeer? I do. Hey, I'm Bob Burridge, and welcome to my Holland riverboat cruise. I'm going to Holland. I cannot believe to do a workshop on a riverboat cruise. 9 days of a bliss and imagination, and accommodations are spectacular. You know, I did this one in Paris, all the way up to Normandy and coming right back down again. I didn't think I was going to like it. It was spectacular. I said, let's do this again, especially of the accommodation. The crew took care of us. The accommodations, the luxury, were just so well taken care of. The foods, as you can well imagine, the excursions, the entertainment. There's a lot going on those riverboat cruises, but look where we get to go. We get to go to Van Gogh Museums, Vermeer. We get to see all that history, incredible excursions through those castles, and we get to paint every day. And the meals, we actually hurry back to the lunches on the cruise ship. It's a small riverboat cruise, just for the meals. Let me tell you, they take care of us. One of my favorite things, I'm looking forward to it, riverboat cruises. That's where it's all happening. Small accommodations, educational especially. So you're going to see a lot of museums, a lot of castles, and do a lot of painting time with me. I hope to see you there.